Chris Daukaus is going to be okay. Derrick Lewis knocks him out. Let's get into the video.
Welcome back to another 11th Island Immediate Reaction. I'm Brad, here with Chris. Like Chris mentioned off the top, we're here to discuss Derrick Lewis knocking out Chris Daukaus at UFC Fight Night. Insert whatever number at Fight Night it is. We're way past keeping track of them, but what did you think of this knockout, Chris?
Well, I mean, it really delivered after a 2.5 minutes of really feeling out, and you could really tell these are the two guys with the most knockouts in the UFC right now, and they were really respecting each other's power. And I think that roundhouse kick that Derrick Lewis landed, it just all of a sudden Derrick Lewis realized, you know what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be safe to really push my advantage. And it was Derrick Lewis for the rest of the time. What do you think, Brad?
Yeah, I think Chris Daukaus came in giving him too much respect, and I think this was a huge moment for Daukaus. His first main event, where Lewis has main evented so many fights at this point in the UFC. He's coming off his second title loss. This is kind of taking a step down, getting back on track for Lewis. Well, for Daukaus, this was his big moment here, and it kind of seemed that way where it was a lot of feeling out, and he respected the power. Now, you need to respect Derrick Lewis's power, but you can't be essentially. I'm blanking on the word, but you can't do nothing in respect to that
you can't
power.
Be tepid,
just kind of,
you know what I mean? You can't be.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. You can't wait it out because Derrick Lewis, once he's gonna find that shot, and you got to get in there first. Because Derrick Lewis, he's. I mean, we've seen him lose to technical strikers, and we've seen him lose to knockout artists. So he's not unbeatable. But once he starts landing, you don't have any time to recover.
Yeah, and I think the way Daukaus was put on his back heels, as I said, with that roundhouse kick, I think you can't give Derrick Lewis that much ground on you going into the cage. I mean, that was really on the outside of the octagon there, backed them against the wall, and I think once Derrick Lewis senses that is when he is at his most powerful, and Daukaus was just on his heels, and I think. If you react, it's almost in the way that you react. And I mean, if Derrick Lewis is going to throw a roundhouse kick at you, I know how I'd react. I mean, my stomach is flying out of the apex at that point. But you give up that ground, and Lewis is going to press that advantage.
And in the smaller cage, which is the apex, there's a lot less room to get on that bike and circle around. And Lewis is going to be able to close the distance a lot quicker, and he's going to find spots to land, which is what he did here. And he put him out quick. And my battery is already running low on the PC. I thought it was plugged in. This is not good. We're going to keep rolling through this, Chris.
All right. So if we lose Brad, we're just going to roll the intro, get this video up. But yeah, I think that smaller octagon is a huge element to this fight, because as we've said, you get the guys, the two highest knockout totals in the UFC. This one's for all the marbles, and you put it in such a small space. These are some big guys, and you have that time where they're feeling each other out. There's not much time to move. If you're Daukaus, you can't really play the outside. Brad, are you going to make a run for the charging cable? Brad's going to make a run for the charging cable, and I'm just going to talk. I mean, Daukaus. This is one of those things. I'm thinking about Daukaus, and you can't look at him too like we're kind of jumping on Daukaus here. We're being a bit goofy and silly with what we got on the screen here, the little meme there. But at the end of the day, you got to respect Daukaus for coming out here. You know, and when you're going up against a knockout guy, when you are a knockout guy, that home run shot, it can happen to anybody. I think good on Daukaus for taking this fight. Good on Daukaus for getting up and taking. I mean, think about the shots he took before he went down. You know, he's got a chin on. Make no mistake, Chris Daukaus has a chin on him, and he has a lot of fight. I mean, Lewis got tagged a few times in that flurry. Probably, if we watched it back, we'd notice that Daukaus landed more strikes than you might initially notice, because you're just seeing Lewis go Lewis is seeing red. You're seeing his eyes go red. You're distracted in that. But if we look back, I imagine Daukaus had a lot of answers to Derrick Lewis. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah, and I apologize to the viewers. That's what happens when you record these immediately after the fight ends. You forget some things in the rush. But Chris,
I'm just gonna say I spent a good amount of time setting things up, and you were just texting me, yo, 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 yo. And I said, we got to make sure everything's set up. And then who was ready?
Yeah,
who is ready?
On me. That's on me. But looking forward for both of these guys, who they want, they should fight next. With Derrick Lewis, I think that he should probably get the loser of Ngannou Gane in the title fight. I think that would make sense. He's ranked number 3 right now. He's not going to move up after this. He's not going to get Miocic. So it makes sense that it would be one of those. Are you in agreement on that?
Yeah, I think so too, and it works out. I mean, Derrick Lewis, after the fight, he's saying, hey, whoa, I want to take some time. I want to take the girl to Jamaica. It's the end of the year card. The people that are fighting today, these are the ones that are like, I'm going to basically burn my holiday week, coming into, I'm going to be recovering going into Christmas, versus a lot of the big money fights that have happened in the last, there were December pay-per-view, November pay-per-view. Those are the nice positions where you can say, I'm going to go all out and then I'm going to have a month to relax. These people have given up a lot in a time where you want to be hanging out. So Derrick Lewis is going to go have a vacation. Meanwhile, we got to wait for these heavyweights at the very top to sort things out. I think this was a good fight for Derrick Lewis to take. Get people back, get yourself back in your mind. Get another soundbite out. Every time Derrick Lewis fights, I see the same posts of the post-fight interviews, just each time adding one more, and they're funny, but there's only so many times I'm gonna have to see this in my feed. Now we got some new content for everybody to jump on. We have Derrick Lewis's cup is now going to be an NFT.
Yeah, I don't think Derrick Lewis understands what an NFT is, and the guy that was so eager to get a hold of Derrick Lewis's cup is a questionable move by him. But also, too, I think.
Well, okay, Brad, we got time for this. So you're telling me you wouldn't go after that? Like, realistically.
I don't know.
Like, think about the value here.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just a generic cup. Doesn't say Derrick Lewis on it. Nobody's gonna believe you.
No, but you could get that minted real fast. You think about the you can't get a ticket to these things. You got to be an influencer. Everybody's got cameras. You can verify that pretty quick.
People collect weirder things.
Do you think that if you went up to Derrick Lewis after and said, "Hey, could you sign this? You toss it to me," he would do it.
Yeah, Derrick Lewis is the type of guy that he would definitely do that. I guess I can't hate on it. I can't hate on it because people do collect weirder things. Derrick Lewis, though, I think needs to take a crash course in NFTs because I think he's a little bit off on that. But we also have to talk about Chris Daukaus and what's next for him, because in my head, I think I have the perfect opponent, and it'd be a super fun fight to start off a pay-per-view. Tai Tuivasa. Those two fighting each other, both guys that have the power to knock each other out and can really put on a war. I think that would be a super fun fight. And in the rankings, Tuivasa at 11, Daukaus at 7. He's probably going to stay there after this. It makes sense in the rankings too, and that's just a super fun fight.
Yeah, and then I mean, the winner of that fight fights Derrick Lewis again in the future, and I'm thinking what Derrick Lewis did tonight plus the shoey, I think there could be some synergy here, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, down the line, if Tai Tuivasa can put himself in a position to fight Derrick Lewis, and you got either Derrick Lewis starching him and doing the Black Beast celebration, or Tai Tuivasa starching him and doing shoeys, we're just guaranteed amazing Instagram clips for the UFC.
Yeah, but that's not to look past Chris Daukaus, who I think could put up a very good fight with Tai Tuivasa. I think that is an exciting one to make.
He'd probably walk into that as the favorite.
He would. I mean, he would. He'd be the favorite. I think it's a good chance to bounce back after a fight like this, and a good chance for Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah, because the bettors do love Daukaus. He walked in tonight as the favorite against Derrick Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And the bettors, I guess, they kind of hate Derrick Lewis a lot because Derrick Lewis has been the underdog in a lot of his fights lately, including the one against Curtis Blades, which ended real quick.
And I think with a guy like Derrick Lewis or anybody who is a real knockout artist, I think that can draw a lot into, like, you really kind of draw the gambler in if you're a home run hitter. And then when you slump a little bit, it takes a long time to earn that trust back. And I think we see that in the odds, as you say. So any final thoughts, Brad?
No, that's all I got. If you're watching this, make sure to tune in and probably 2 to 3 hours for our immediate reaction to Paul versus Woodley 2. We do this thing almost every weekend. MMA show, weekly show coming up soon. Stay tuned. 500 subscriber giveaway once we hit it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you later.
All right, see you later, everybody.